Hello everybody and welcome back to the best reaction Spanish Grand Prix. Oh, this one's a busy one. I wonder why. I wonder why we had some memes from this particular Grand Prix. I hope you have all recovered from Sunday. You've been able to process what's gone on because we're going to now see the lighter side of the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's dive into it right now with the top 10. P10, Gavin Curley 90. Poor Yuki Tsunoda must miss driving the V-Carb. He must, because Hadjar's doing a brilliant job. And also, I don't know if you saw the F1 interview that he had after the race. He genuinely looked like he'd been crying, upset. And this is what the Red Bull second seat does to a person. It looks like, well, to be fair, in Yuki's situation, it probably didn't even look that appealing, considering everyone that had gone by. But on paper, it's a race-winning car. I can get some podiums. I can get some silverware. The reality, take me back. Take me back to V-Carb. P9, Mythic Gen, Red Bull during the safety car. Now, I've not seen the clown meme for the Red Bull pit wall in a long time, if ever. We would literally just had the Mercedes pit wall as clowns from Monaco, and now we go to Red Bull. I cannot believe their hard tyre decision and the Max let George through. They have all the data. They have all the replays available to them. They can make that decision. And it's supposedly an informed one. Sadly not. If you're a Red Bull fan, you now know what it's like and has been like to be a Ferrari fan for many, many, many years. How does it taste? P8, Elite Merchant _ We were given false promises. Oh, gosh. I thought this was the one. Guys, I genuinely did. So did Tommy. We got excited about the fact we are going to see Piastri versus Norris down towards turn 1 and get a battle for the whole race. Did we? No. Norris got a slightly worse start off the racing line, of course, because first, third, fifth, seventh, etc., etc. They get a slightly grippier line with it being on the racing line. And Lando, just got swallowed up by the cars behind, and of course got passed by Max. And then we got like a time trial race, 4 5 seconds, maybe 2 at one point, but that was it. We need wheel to wheel, please. Okay, the first funny thing away from the hashtag P1 Top 10 comes in from It's Not Me _Ari. I absolutely loved this. This was pre-race. The camera went to Carlos Sainz, and then it just repeated itself 3 times, as if it was like the start of some kind of music video. It was just absolutely brilliant. I thought my SkyGo was glitching, so did Tommy, but it turns out no, it was actually the camera melting at the just looking at Carlos Sainz, and I can't blame it. P7, Joe Formula 6P, Williams today. They had an absolute stinker. They forgot that they were a midfield team. Sainz was having problems. Albon was losing front wings left, right and centre. Just a weekend to forget after Williams being with such momentum this year. Surprised to see them, I mean, not just obviously have a difficult race, but they did seem to just struggle generally with pace compared to what we've seen from them this year. And 18th and 19th at one point. Of course, Albon didn't even finish in the end. One to forget. James Vowles, I believe in you. We go to the next one. Canada, bring it on. P6, Track Live F1. I like Terry Crews, but what on earth is he doing in the post-race interviews? I love Terry Crews as well. I was surprised to see him, of all the Grand Prix, of him to pop up at the Spanish Grand Prix. I was expecting a bit of Vegas, maybe Miami. The Spanish Grand Prix just popped up out of nowhere and started doing the interviews, or co-interviewing. And look, I don't mind it. Was a bit weird, but more Terry Crews is fine by me. Okay, we're into the honourable mentions, the ones that didn't make to the top 10, but you want more memes, and we got more memes. And here we go then. Peter Greenway 1, Liam Lawson having a day out in Spain. No, not just Max Verstappen in the bumper cars. Lawson was involved in almost every overtake he did was either a near incident, and to be fair, a couple of them he was getting slandered for when the reality was the driver just went off the track because they couldn't keep it on the track. And yeah, Lawson was aggressive, but did actually pull off a couple of really nice moves, but there were also contact involved, hence the bumper cars. Inferno the Fox, fan, show us the race action. Race director, oh, look at these replays. It hasn't been terrible, the race direction and the TV direction. In recent times, if my memory serves me correctly, but there was a point where there was about to be a battle and they were like, no, they were using the mini box. I can't remember who it was, but they were using the mini box while showing the replays and then got rid of the mini box the second we were about to see an overtake. It's unlucky, I guess, at times because they did want to go back to the racing action, but you know, us F1 fans, we're going to complain, aren't we? Migu IOM, today's race be like. Oscar Piastri, rest of the grid. Oscar knows how to check out of a race, doesn't he? P1, of course, Lando doesn't get a great start, which puts Max in a slower car ahead of him, gives Oscar a bit of a buffer to extend his lead. But you just don't see any mistakes. Like, Oscar, does your heart rate go over like 50 BPM when you're in the race? I'd love to have heart rate monitors on all of the drivers to get a understanding of who is actually, you know, really dialed in and really sort of at their peak heart rate. And then you probably have Piastri. I was going to say Verstappen, probably not after this race. Just chilling. It's a Sunday drive. Racing Stitches, impressive drive, but what the hell is a Hulkenberg doing in P5? It's something I've been wondering as well. Of course, Sauber did bring upgrades for this weekend, and Nico was looking forward to them after Monaco. I don't think he had 10 points on the cards. Of course, he had fresh softs for the safety car restart, which was very useful, as you could see, as he went past Hamilton in a Ferrari, which not something I think any of us expected to say. But yeah, the softs were working very nicely. But Nico did a phenomenal job as well. You can't take anything away from him. He utilised a car that slightly improved and put it in a position that it didn't belong. Avon Cry, Hamilton after Hulkenberg finish ahead of him in a Sauber. Yeah. Hamilton, you know, he had an okay race in comparison to Charles. He lost a bit of time at the start after Leclerc was let through. But then he sort of stagnated the gap and then was kind of put onto this longer strategy, which then lost him more time to Leclerc. And then next thing you know, you blink and Hulkenberg is coming through after the safety car. It doesn't look good, but I don't think you can slander him too much because there was a tyre discrepancy. And Hulkenberg, as much as we like to call it a green wheelie bin, and I do, it was less wheelie bin this weekend. F1 Ind 1, Red Bull strategy team was so bad today, they took a page from Ferrari, guys. What could be worse than losing to Charles and Russell, losing to Hulkenberg in a Sauber, and a lot of other drivers, losing to Alonso. They hadn't scored any points this year, so it went much worse. Oily85, first look at the 2026 Max Verstappen car. Yeah, I've slept on this. Obviously recovered from the just unexpected controversy that we saw yesterday, and he boiled over, didn't he? He boiled over. Who knows what livery is going to be on Max's car next year? Will he stay at Red Bull? Probably still, I think, but you never know with Max. At Ellie Smith 26X, breaking, Max Verstappen caught taking esports racing too seriously. The E and then the space and then the sports is killing me slightly as an esports enthusiast, but I thought I'd include it all the same because is that a Mario? I think that's the latest Mario Kart. Either or, good stuff, Ellie. Owen F100, POV Max at the Spanish Grand Prix. I'm not sure he was smiling so much. Or was it more of a grimace that he's doing right there? But it kind of giving slight enjoyment, and there should be some steam coming out of his ears at least. ATX Donut, pray for the man. Christian Horner praises Isaac Hadjar. Oh, no. Hadjar should just have another Australia. Just to kind of take yourself out of the conversation for maybe, you know, going and having a go in Sonoda's seat anytime soon. Just spin on the formation lap. Come on, do something to anger the Red Bull team and think, no, he's not ready. Because who is ready? A lot of honourable mentions, so I hope you're enjoying the memes. Mr. Bear 15, Liam Lawson, every time he passes someone. I think this is unfair. It's unfair. Like, there were aggressive moves. There was debris, don't get me wrong. But not every single time. No, come on. He was going for it. But also, yes, that there was a slight bit of destruction. Michel himself, F1 fans, we want wheel-banging racing, not like that, especially for George. He was a lot more calm and composed, wasn't he? He was just sort of mystified in the post-race interviews. So how that relationship will continue to, I was going to say flourish, degrade, however you want to say it, which way is it going to go? We'll have to wait and see. Erica is golden. Me after voting Max Driver of the Day before the incident. I did love this, right? That a lot of people had voted Max for Driver of the Day because he'd gone for something different, was driving very well, pushing really hard for a three-stop, sorry. And then there was the whole, oh, well, someone's got your back because you got voted Driver of the Day. I think a lot of people did that before the George Russell incident, and you can't retract your Driver of the Day vote. So Max still won, which was quite funny. Mr. Idiot, those back markers. Liam Lawson on Lando. Yeah, that was a close call for Lando, wasn't it? To have two drivers, Lawson in particular, going very aggressive on Behrman. Two rookies, and Lando Norris is just sat there going, I'm trying to catch Oscar. And that was the point where he was reasonably close with all of the traffic. But yeah, those two fighting cost him a bit of time. Crystal Horner, the race after the safety car. So true. So true. McLaren just checking out. Relaxing, nice, sort of therapeutic music probably going on in the cockpit. Meanwhile, behind, absolute carnage. It's controversial opinion time, which means Tom Bellingham is here. Oh, yes. Tommy, I've got it right here. It's from the diecast room. Max is making sure his get-out clause is activated. Now, I have been told, reliably from you, that you have some strong opinions, so I'm going to let you cook.
I've seen a few people say this, and I think you're giving Max Verstappen far too much credit. Don't get me wrong. He is devious, and he's made devious moves in the past to allow him a better position in the championship. But this one is just a moment of rage. I mean, the guy literally went onto Instagram and kind of apologized, which is about as
an apology requires the either I apologize or I'm sorry.
Okay, he regretted it. I will say. And I think that's the most you're ever going to get from Max Verstappen. So he knows he's done wrong. It's a moment of madness. He does not want to leave Red Bull more than having the slimmest hope of winning the World Championship. So to think he would throw away points on purpose is a crazy opinion for me.
Yeah, I don't agree with this controversial opinion just purely because of the fact that he wants to win this World Championship this year. And I don't know, if you're on like round 19, then perhaps you'd have slightly more of a leg to stand on. But, you know, we've just finished round 9. Anything can happen between the two McLaren drivers. And Max going into this was a race win behind. So for him to sort of try and activate this get-out clause, and also as well, if Max wants to leave, he'll leave. He'll find a way. He's got enough money. I'm sure that...
And a certain Lawrence Stroll has enough money.
Exactly.
If it is Aston Martin, there's no way he's going to go, oh, sorry, we've got a contract. We know they've been broken.
Lawrence Stroll would be like, it was 50 mil, is it? Oh, don't worry about that. I didn't even notice it leave my account.
50 mil, I'll give you 500 mil.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's anything to do with his get-out clause, personally. No. It was just a moment of rage, which has caused the whole of social media to set alight. So there you go. Thank you, everybody. Bye, Tommy. Take care. Sweet dreams.
Goodbye. I'll sleep well.
Off to P5 we go. Raf_E. Everyone at Red Bull until lap 55. And then afterwards, oh dear. Yeah, it went bad, didn't it? It went really bad. That's the biggest Red Bull blunder I've seen in a very long time, or at least combined. Like, it wasn't just one thing, it was two really big things. Lars kick W. Bruh. Hamilton finished behind a Sauber again. I'm a damn kick Sauber got hands. No, look, I've already defended him once, I'll defend him again. He didn't have a horrendous race, although after the race, of course, he was incredibly upset with himself. This just seems to be a bit of a running trend with Lewis, where he's just not being able to understand the car fully. I hope for his sake in 26, when we get the new regs, brand new car, sort of a level playing field in some ways, that he can rediscover that mojo, because I still think he's got it. It just needs to click in his head. He's the most adaptable driver we've seen in Formula One history, you know, winning across so many different eras of car. You can't count him out for 26, surely. In P3, we have Mr. Idiot again. How Fernando secretly scored points today. Hey, Fernando, why do you wear that mask? Let's keep this up. I'm just saying, whenever Lance Stroll doesn't race, Fernando Alonso scores points. Can we confirm that Lance Stroll was not in the car? In P2 and narrowly missing out at Conman81, everyone who voted Max Verstappen driver of the day pre-safety car restart. That Toto face is so memeable and it is being used a lot. Well done, Josh. You get P2. And before we dive into P1, one final thing to discuss. Not necessarily funny, but definitely controversial and a lot of discussion points. But Max Verstappen has come out on Instagram and done a little post. Very PR friendly, it has to be said. And part of it was that he said things had fueled his frustration, leading to a move that was not right and shouldn't have happened. So let me know what you think about that one. It's not an apology. It's not a admission of I tried to wipe George out, but it does give us a little insight as to perhaps how he was feeling in the car at the time. And the fact that, Max never apologizes. Max will never admit fault. That's just the way he's built. That's the way he's wired. And that's the way he goes racing. So the fact that this is even put out there, I think tells not even 1,000 words, 1,000,000 words. And finally, the winner comes in from Marlon Hatch, either or, me defending Max for something he clearly did do. If you're a Max Verstappen fan right now, yes, I can understand. If you're incredibly passionate about him and, your fandom runs deep, it's hard to sit there and go, oh, yeah, he did do something wrong, didn't he? And let me know, were you able to do a Tommy? Because Tommy gets questioned all the time. Are you really a Max fan? You're slandering him. Not even slandering him, just criticising things that he might do. I don't think criticising a driver that you like means that you don't support them. You shouldn't support your driver through thick and thin. Well, you should in terms of results, but if they do something that is actually against the rules or something that is frowned upon, you should be able to have a level-headed approach. That's how I see it anyway. Right, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the best reactions to the Spanish Grand Prix. It was a big one, this one. A lot of memes. Thank you for getting involved. Hashtag P1 if you want to win P1 merch, if you finish first, of course. We've got a week break, so we can all just reflect on what on earth we just saw. And then it is the Canadian Grand Prix. So I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Bye!